Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lions Den with another news and commentary. I have some more breaking news. It's coming out of Louisville, Kentucky. Now, the Louisville police officer who was responsible to request a search warrant and for Breonna Taylor's home has officially been fired. This article comes from Louisville Courier Journal. It says the Louisville Metro Police Department is moving to fire an officer who sought the no-knock search warrant that led 7 detectives to Breonna Taylor's apartment the night she was fatally shot. Detective Joshua James received a pre-termination letter Tuesday after a professional standard unit investigation found he had violated department procedures for preparation of a search warrant and truthfulness, his attorney said. Attorney Thomas Clay said he was told by James that Detective Miles Cosgrove, who the FBI concluded fired the shot that killed Taylor, also was served with a pre-termination paperwork. Cosgrove's attorney, Jared Beck, declined the comment, which reached the Courier Journal. Jane has a hearing with the internal chief, Yvette Gentry, and her staff Thursday morning. Detective James and I will show up for the pre-termination hearing, trying to convince Acting Chief Gentry that this action is unwarranted. Clay said Jane did nothing wrong. The department had previously fired Detective Brett Hankerson in June for blindly firing 10 rounds into Taylor's apartment. He is now facing 3 counts of first-degree wanton endangerment. Jane was not present at Taylor's South Louisville apartment during the shooting, but about 12 hours earlier, he secured a warrant with a no-knock clause from a Jefferson Circuit judge. Taylor was shot and killed by officers who forced their way into her apartment shortly before 1 a.m. March 13th, searching for drugs and cash as part of a narcotics investigation centered on her ex-boyfriend. Despite securing a warrant with a no-knock clause, officers said they knocked and announced their presence before ultimately using a battering ram on their apartment front door. That's a lie. I'm going to get to that in a second. Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, fired 1 shot at officers, broke down the door to her apartment, reportedly striking Sergeant Jonathan Mattingly in the thigh. Walker has repeatedly said he didn't realize it was police knocking and didn't hear an announcement. Officials have said 3 officers, Detective Miles Cosgrove, Mattingly, and Hankerson, shot back together, firing 32 bullets throughout the apartment. Taylor, 26, was shot 6 times and died in her hallway. 4 other officers, Mike Nobles, Mike Campbell, Tony James, and Lieutenant Sean Hoover, were also present at Taylor's apartment for the raid, but did not fire their weapons. All except Hankerson were part of the professional standard unit investigation looking into it in violation of department policy. James, who also secured 4 other warrants as a part of the investigation, was part of the unit place-based investigations targeting investigative efforts on a few blocks in Louisville Russell neighborhood. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the Louisville Courier Journal. So y'all, you know, it comes a time that, you know, when you have forced the judge to use a search warrant to invade Breonna Taylor's apartment, don't think that things will come back to haunt you, and that's exactly what happened. So the judge had not only been fired, but there's going to be more firings to come in this case, because the thing of it is, this new interim chief aren't playing. And again, you see Brett Hankerson's been fired. Now Detective Joshua James been fired because of a false no-knock warrant situation and presented to the judge. So ladies and gentlemen, tell me what you think about this. I mean, again, it shows you that it's going to be more firings and possibly charges going to be filed again for this. But again, it shows you that you can't be above the law just because you're wearing a badge. Y'all let me know what you think. Like, click, subscribe, and remember to click the notification bell for all the news and commentary. With that being said, this is Lions Den signing off. Deuces.